Happiness. Okay, this is my international selvage jeans or denim review. Um, I did a video a couple days ago. Sorry if that was a teaser. I put it up for a little while. I didn't like it. I was just rambling for like 45 minutes, jumping around from subject to subject on my American-made denim. Some of this stuff is from American companies, but everything here is made overseas or internationally, as far as I'm concerned. Um, but I had to do some guidelines and notes for myself to follow because it seemed kind of incoherent to me and weird and like a rambling dude. So here's what we got. Okay, I want to talk. There was a lot of good information in there, so I'm going to give it to you in this one, and then this will be more of an informational one, and I will do hopefully soon, maybe by next weekend, the um, American-made one, and that will be. There's more pairs of jeans in that one, and so you will be able to just see the jeans, and this one will have the information. First of all, I want to talk to you about, and I may do some standing up, and you may be like those other guys, just see my hands for a minute. I wanted to talk to you about sizing and stuff, and how to measure and how to get your size. I think that's the most important thing, and I think that's why a lot of you watch these videos of mine, is to kind of get a feel for the products. So with sizing, we have something in the United States called vanity sizing. And in other words, what it means is it makes us feel good. So I usually wear by a 34, like in Levi's and such, and it actually measures out to about a 36. So they make us think that we're skinnier. And some of the guys overseas think that's a little funny or weird, but it is what it is, I guess. I didn't realize it until I was in the hobby of the boots and jeans. So what you want to do, and even the selvage companies will have different sizing per what they're called. So what you want to do is, before you order, there's a chart. It may be difficult to find. You may have to go back to the top of the screen and click on sizing, or click on some of the home icon or whatever to find their sizing chart. But the better sites have it right in, where you're purchasing the jeans, and all the information right there. There'll be a little button to click on for sizing. And what that's going to tell you is 4 or 5 different measurements, no matter what the size says. So in other words, it may say 34, but maybe their 34 doesn't measure out to 34. Maybe it tells you what the length of a 34. Maybe the length of a 34 is different than the length on a 36. And as far as the length goes, guys would clown me a lot for, I do what they call the mega cuff, or the hashtag Bristowing. It's something that the guys came up with as kind of a funny, affectionate thing about the way that I roll my jeans up. I don't double fold them. I just fold them all the way up. So it ends up with you'll see it when we start showing some of these jeans. I have like a 5-inch cuff or bigger. So hashtag Bristowing is described as having a 4-inch or bigger cuff. And some of the short guys are like, wait, if I have a big cuff, I look like I'm 3 feet tall. So if you're not, I think we said something silly, like if you're under 5'7", or you can get, you're Bristowing with a 2 or 3-inch cuff. That being said, if you look in old pictures like of Marlon Brando, John Wayne, James Dean, or even just a lot of historic pictures, you'll see the guys just folding the cuff all the way up. And John Wayne was a tall man, and you see he looks like he has like a 5 or 6-inch cuff. So that's what they used to do. They used to just run long. So the denim, they had the cinch on the back. So the sizing may just be like, not as many sizes as, like a small, medium, large, something like that, instead of like we have now 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38. But they just ran everything long. So a lot of these selvage companies will just run everything long. And you can either have it hemmed or develop a style of folding it up or cuffing it. But what the measurements are, you got to get one of these, okay? If you don't have one already, I was using a regular tape measure, and then I just stole one from my wife, and then I bought myself several of these, just like a seamstress or a tailor would use. One side they have millimeters, the other side has inches. And so I have one down, in my closet downstairs, up here in the garage, a couple up here. so that I could just measure things. And it, you know, easier than a tape measure. You can go around, like you're measuring for a hat, you can go around with these because they're soft. So let me start out on this pair of jeans right here, and I'll describe them to you in a minute. But I'm going to stand up. This is what you want to do. Okay? For instance, this is a pair of jeans I got at JCPenney's. It says 34 by 34. It's Arizona jeans. And this pair is just a random pair of, you know, less expensive jeans. You want to do the button it in the middle, okay? And then get your waistband. Let me just kind of spread these out a little bit more. Get your waistband, you know, kind of lay them out flat. I do this on the bed usually, but get your waistband so it's not, if you see, you know, it's not, it has a tendency to droop down, but so just so it's as flat together, sandwiched together as you can get it, okay? Then if it's in centimeters, you do centimeters. If you want to do inches, it's in inches for me. I use the English rule a lot. But what you want to do is write these measurements down, have them by your computer when you're ordering your jeans so you know exactly what you need. This one right here, you measure across. This is 17. It's exactly 17. So these Arizona jeans from Penny's are sized right. They're not vanity sized. And you'll see it doesn't matter where they're from. It's different. So 17 straight across, 2 times 17 is 34. So these are 34. The inseam is from the crotch right here. You know where that quadruple seam is? Right to the bottom. So this is more difficult for me because I'm not totally flat, but I'm just kind of give you a feel for it. The inseam then on this is, look at that, it's called a 34. It's about a 33 and a half. I'm probably, because of the table. So it seems true. So I'm just measuring from this quadruple seam right at the crotch, and I'm just stretching out all the way to the bottom of the, where the seam, bottom of the outside of the seam of the bottom. That's your inseam. Okay. Now there's a couple other measurements they do. One of them is the leg opening, and we're going to talk about cuts in just a second. The leg opening right here at the bottom, this is 8 inches. Now, if it's a taper, slim, skinny, whatever, it'll be different because they also have, not all the sites have it, but a knee measurement, which would be right about in the middle here. Okay, this is 9 inches, so there's a slight taper to these. Okay, then this may be something that's new to you. If you know all this stuff, it's okay. But a lot of these guys don't know, and that's why they're watching. Drop that to figure out what to do. So they have something called also. So we have the waist measurement, the inseam, the leg opening. We have the knee. Okay, that's 4. There's going to be 6 measurements I'm giving you that I want you to write down for yourself when you order jeans. So then you have something called the front rise. I'm in the front where the zipper is. There's a zipper, not buttons on this one. There's a zipper and 1 button. And I'm just going to measure from that quadruple seam all the way up to the top of the button there. Okay, it's 11 inches. That's called front rise. Okay, now I'm going to flip them over. This is the back, the butt pocket's right here. Okay, I'm going to try and do the same thing and measure that. And this is, look, that's like 15 inches. So the front was 11 and the back's 15. These are kind of high-waisted pants. My point on this is that you need to find what you like to get what you like, so you don't end up sending stuff back and forth. Maybe some places don't want to ship back and forth. I'm going to talk to you about ordering from overseas, some of my experiences about that. So you want to have all these measurements written down. Now, as far as the cut, you may have to find the cut that you like from the particular company that you like. That may be a little bit more difficult. But if you have a pair of jeans, old Levi's 501s, not necessarily stretch, don't do these measurements with stretch, because stretch stretches when you wear it. And so it's not going to be true on what fits you comfortably. So I wear, with some companies, my most general term for that is like a slim straight. A straight would have been that leg opening, and the knee would be about the same. That's a straight cut. I wear a slim straight or a taper. Some will call it a slim straight taper. With the Canadian brand, I think they call it Weird Guy, which describes me perfectly. So you want to be able to figure out that based on these measurements that you did with the tape. So that's how my wife does it. She just wears it like that. She sews. So once you have all that, you have the type of cut that you think you know based on the measurements, you get this old pair of jeans that you got that fits perfectly, that's not stretched, and lay it out and measure those measurements. Those are your measurements. You know it fits you perfectly. It's not stretched. That's exactly what you wear. That's exactly what you want. Just keep in mind that some of these companies, you may not be able to find the inseam that you want, and you got to cuff it or have it tailored. I'm not going to have mine tailored. I like rolling them up and rolling them down and cuffing them in big cuffs. That's a certain kind of heritage, historic look that I like. Now let's get right into this. That pair of jeans I was showing you is actually my first pair of Selvedge, and I didn't know until I looked at all my jeans when I first started getting into the Selvedge, and lo and behold, these Arizona jeans from JCPenney's have the Selvedge ID on them. That's the Selvedge ID. What that is like if you ever went to the fabric store with your mom when you're a little kid. I spent way too much time there with my mom, just waiting on her. But the edge of a bolt of fabric will have this on the edge. And if you cut fabric and you just cut it straight across, it can fray. And so these, the self edge is what, it's a contracted word, Selvedge. It's spelled a number of different ways, but it means self edge. So the edge is an edge in and of itself. It's already an edge, as opposed to something that's just cut. And then you'll see on, I don't know if you can see this. The jeans I'm wearing right now are tailor stitch. I don't know if you can see it, but they are, look at that giant mega cuff there. They aren't Selvedge. And so what they did like a chain stitch, like the inside of a t-shirt, just to keep that from fraying on the inside of their seam. When it's Selvedge, they don't have to do that. And why do we like Selvedge instead of these other ones with a chain stitch? It's just the quality, the heritage, and how stuff used to be made. And that's what we're into with all these heritage, all leather boots, old-fashioned jeans. We like them woven on the old mills, the old equipment, and that I will get into that with some of the American jeans, because I think they're cone mills or white oak cone mills. I'm gonna kind of go a little bit deeper into the American mills that were producing the denim for most of the world in the next video. So I had these, and I still wear them. These Arizona jeans. Those are my very first pair. 34 by 34. We just measured them. They're true to size. Now, and they're made in India. That's why they're in the international review here. I wanted to do in the American Selvedge my Levi's. I got one pair of Levi's Selvedge. Now, if you want Levi's Selvedge, the good stuff, it's a little bit pricey, and they do make it. These were just, of course, those Arizona ones were cheap. I think these were like $49 or something. These are, the cut on these is a 511. They're 34 by 34. These are stretch, okay? Stretch is good for old guys. We got big bellies and weird bulges and stuff. There's a Selvedge ID on these, is blue with white with a little red line in the white. And these things, I think they were sewn in Bangladesh. Or no, these were from China. These were sewn in China. Again, there's good and bad in every single country, and we don't need to boycott any country. But what we need to do is think about whether our products are ethically made, and whether they're made good for the environment, whether they're made good for the worker. And those are things that we want to think about when we spend our money. And because I was watching Heddle's, or reading Heddle's, I only call it a blog or an article on their site, and it was about some of the manufacturing processes of denim and jeans, and they were saying, the possibility is that your cotton could be grown in the United States. It could be sent over to Japan, where a lot of the old U.S. looms are now, and woven, and it could be sent back to Thailand to be dyed in Indigofera. And Indigofera is a plant that grows in Thailand as well as probably other countries. I'm sure it's a green plant that secretes a blue dye. And then it could be shipped over to Bangladesh, where a lot of our clothing that we buy here in the United States is sewn, and then shipped back to the American company to be sold as Levi's or whatever. So there's a process, even in your automobiles. A lot of the parts are made in Mexico. The raw products are coming from overseas. And so there's processes that go into any manufacturing. I don't know if we can have anything that's 100%, but the next video, the jeans will be the Selvedge jeans that are sewn in the United States, as far as I know. So they kind of did some of the little pre-distressing on these Levi's. I don't like it too much. They're a little bit faded. They came like that, but they're cool jeans. And the 511 is not a skinny fit. I can't get my fat calves in a skinny fit jean, and my knees are kind of big too. And so these are the 511 is a slimmer fit for Levi's, and I really like these. They're stretch, they're comfortable. That's those. Now I got these. I found these, I think, at the mall when my wife was shopping at this store called Uniqlo or Uniqlo, and we have to get a magnifying glass. These are also made in China, and it's just a white pair. I didn't have anything white in Selvedge, and so I bought them, and they were not expensive either. And so the Selvedge ID on this one is all white with a little red line. I don't know if you can see that one. And they're kind of a slimmer cut too. Well, let's just check on these, for instance, like this kind of cut here, because you know a lot of the more fashion jeans are skinny. I think they're going away from skinny, but they're kind of going back to it. Like the leg opening on these is 7, so a little bit smaller at the bottom, and the knee is 8. So yeah, it's a taper. It's just a taper. I don't think these are skinny, but they are slimmer than that last part I measured, which was a 9 and 8. These are 7 and 8, so these are a little bit tighter on me. There's also a company in Canada that is a really good entry level. They're going to cost you a little bit more than Pennies or that Uniqlo or Levi's, right in the $130 range. Also, if it's not yucky to you, you know that I get a lot of stuff on eBay used. And one of the things about that is you can know your sizing in that particular type of jeans and look it up and find it, but you don't know if it's been washed in hot water, been dried in a hot dryer, so that may screw you up a little bit. So that's the only snag on that. But if you can get a pair of jeans that's $200 or $150 or whatever for $50, $75, it may be worth it. If they don't fit you, just pass them on. In Canada, they have something called Naked and Famous. They do a lot of themed jeans. I think they got like Batman and the Joker and all kinds of different stuff. This is from a game, I think, called Dragon Ball Z. Naked and Famous. And I got 2 of these. One has, the inside is orange, and we're going to look at the next one. The inside is green. And like this one has the bluish with the orange edge on the Selvedge ID. These are called, they have a really neat patch. I think this guy's name is Goku or something, if you can see that. And these are called Goku Super Scion Selvedge, 100% cotton. I thought these had a little stretch to it, and they do. They're 100% cotton, and they have a little stretch. I don't know how they do that, but they do. Weird Guy is my fit. The Weird Guy fit, let's check it out for you guys. Naked and Famous. I can measure the cuff right here even though it's rolled up. The Weird Guy fit on Naked and Famous is, it's 7.5 at the bottom. Up here at the knee, it's almost 9. So there's a little bit more taper to that. So I think it kind of gives you room in your legs and then tightens up a little bit around the cuff. Let me just show you kind of the details on these. If you can see how now these are the first ones that I've shown you that have not been washed, and I will talk a little bit more in the next video about why guys wash them, see the inside, and why guys don't wash them, and some of these contests that they have. These are sewn in Canada, Naked and Famous. It's a good entry-level brand, and the two pairs that I have, I really like them. I kind of wear them when I'm fancy. I know that, you know, most of my boots are more rugged boots because I'm a carpenter. Anything I got here is fancy for me. You know, I'm wearing boots that don't have a hole that worn down to the steel toe, and that's fancy. And if I have jeans on that aren't stained and worn, that's fancy. I have like over here in the closet, I got a Marion and a Berrien suit. Other than that, everything's more kind of what you would call workwear style or heritage rugged style. Here's the green pair. Same thing, blue with a greenish Selvedge ID. Look at the fabric on that. You can see the green coming through. These ones are, they got these dudes, these cats on the pocket bags. You can see that. That's one of the characters from this video game or anime or something. I don't know what it is. My kids know. This is called Cell Perfect. I guess that's the dude. So let's see. There's a little dude on the pocket of the orange ones. Goku or whatever his name is. Yeah. Here's the little guy right here. I love the details. There's the little Goku guy on those ones. And then the Cell Perfect guy in here. Here's how these look. In the front, the details. Little Selvedge ID also right here on the watch pocket. It's not a coin pocket, guys think it is. But these are called waist overalls. Jeans are waist overalls. Back in the day, overalls were the ones that cover everything. And waist overalls were at your waist. So where you put the pocket watch, they didn't have wrist watches, you put it in the watch pocket. And guys think it's a coin pocket. When I was a little kid in the 70s, I had a pocket watch my aunt gave me. Put it in the watch pocket. So the back of these, let me show you. They don't have, look at the patch has that cat on there, that Cell Perfect dude, whatever. And then they got this little detail here. I don't even know what that is. But they don't, you see that they don't even have any lines like the little Levi's doop-de-doo thing on there. There's nothing like that on these. Naked and Famous, just things that have to do with their whatever the theme of the jeans. Here's a brand that I got from Standard and Strange. That's a men's haberdashery. I think it's in New York City, over in Oakland or Berkeley. They're called Cof Studio. These are made in Italy. And they have, again, the blue Selvedge with the white, and the red line in it is a little bit more defined. And I really like these. They're a little bit thinner. Selvedge, your normal jeans that you get usually like 11, 12 ounces. And Selvedge usually goes like 12 to like 33. And I think the next pair, no, one of the pairs we're going to do is So-So. And they have one 33 ounce. It's called the Breaker of Legs. What the ounces is, I think they weigh a yard, which is one of the measurements we do in the English rule in denim. They weigh a yard of the fabric, and however much that weighs is what they call the ounceage. So these are probably like 12 or 13 ounce. These are the Cof Studio. How they look, they're just pretty simple. They fit me really well. Like a darker colored patch. I got these new, so I didn't really patina that patch. That's how it is. It's made in Veneto, Italy, with Candiani denim. So, Cof Studio. Let's check out these. I don't know what cut these are called. Didn't write all that information down. These are about 8 inches on the cuff, and the knee is about 9. So it's a taper. It must be what I'm getting. The straight fit is okay. It's just, I don't know, it's not as interesting to me. For me, when it tapers a little bit, skinny, it looks weird anyway to me. I'm sorry, you guys are like, but I'm an old guy. I can't pull that off. So it's weird for me. But I like it so that it's not like tight on me, but then it tightens up around the ankle a little bit so that it shows off the fancy boots I'm wearing. And that's my motive on having a little bit more taper, is sometimes some of the boots that aren't really, really rugged, In other words, I could be wearing a pair of boots like this, you know, that's really rugged, or I could go to, you know, a fancier pair of boots like these Wolverines, and some of these more not as rugged or beefy looking boots, if you have a straight fit, it's just the boot just kind of gets lost in that big cuff that I use. And so that's why I like to do the little bit of the taper on the cuff. Those are the Cof Studio Italian. Last pair on this side are my Indigofera. Now these are like my go-to jeans. These are a lot heavier of denim. I don't know, they're probably like 18 or something. And I want to show you something about these. I bought these secondhand. I think they're like over $200. I probably got them for like 70 or 80 bucks online. They had a little bit of a wear, and I think the guy who I bought them from had a bigger butt than me. So beware, guys, if you don't have a big butt with a big butt, because there's a little bit of extra poof in the back. You ever get that little poof in the back? And I don't think it's the cut. This cut is the Indigofera buck cut. One of my friends from Denmark told me that. These Indigoferas are, I think the company's from Sweden, and but these were sewn and made in Portugal. So yeah, Indigofera's from Sweden. This is Buck Slim. Yeah, it's right on there. Buck Slim, SLV. I think that must be Slim something. So, but they're made in Portugal. So I'm gonna do. These ones are heavier, like I said. They must be like 16 or 18 ounce. And let's see, I wear these all the time, like when I'm working around the house and stuff. These are just about 7.5, and I can see where the knee is because I got a little fading right there. 7.5 on the cuff and like 8.5. So it's basically what I like is that taper. If you like the taper, if you've seen the pictures of me on Instagram or Facebook, how the jeans fit me with the taper, with the boots, with the cuffs, and you want that, then you know that it's basically an inch difference, not from here, but from here to the knee. So the Indigofera, it's a really nice company, and those are the Indigoferas. There's the leather tag. I don't think you can see it, but there is just a little slight design. It says Indigofera there. There's like a Syrian or biblical winged lion on there, and then there is a little bit. It's in a dark thread, so there's like a little line with a bloop, with a circle on there, and you can see they're getting a little bit of wear. And these are like my favorite jeans, Indigoferas. I have never bought a new pair. They're very expensive, and we'll talk about that, some cost of some of the higher end brands versus some of the other brands in the next video. Okay, one of the things I want to tell you now is what I want to get into. I'll get into it. Okay, well, about when you're buying jeans from a faraway place that you can't return. I got these jeans, they're like my favorite looking at them, and they're NBDN. Says overalls, human made, human taste. Look at these things. These things are absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can see the denim, all the details, little string hanging off, and keep that. That's part of the thing. Some of my shirts have that too. I'm not sure exactly what. Look how they staggered that belt loop, that hand sewn kind of sashiko patch that they got. These are called Leviathan or Deadly Leviathan. They're made in Indonesia, and the details are just amazing with the red thread and how well everything's sewn. And these say 36. What? Okay, in the jeans, we're gonna have to talk about this. I was gonna talk about it in the next video, but they have something called sanforized and unsanforized. Sanforized means washed. Unsanforized means unwashed, like Levi's shrink to fit. In high school, we used to buy those a couple inches bigger, wash them a whole bunch of times, and then that was the Levi's shrink to fit. They actually shrunk a lot. Most of the unsanforized jeans aren't going to shrink quite as much as the Levi's shrink to fit, in my opinion. But guys don't wash these jeans. And so we are going to talk about that then. That's yucky to some guys. Hey, if they're stinky or dirty, please wash them. I do. Um, those Indigofera, there's something I want to show you about that. Going long, but I'm staying more focused this time, so I think this is going to be a good video. Okay, look at that. This guy already started this. Can you see that right there? Has an S, and then there's a bunch of little tick marks. Okay, on the other side, there's nothing, but there's many tick marks going all the way across. So I've washed these. For me, I wash them. I don't just soak them. A lot of people say when you get a new pair of raw denim, so unsanforized or unwashed is also called raw denim. They say to soak them in the tub one time. Some guys will put them on and wear them. Some guys will line dry them. If you have some nice jeans, I wouldn't ever put them in the dryer unless you're trying to shrink them. And if you are putting them in the dryer or even in the washing machine, turn them inside out. I didn't do that, and my wife told me to do that because she was into jeans and boots way before me. And I ended up with some of my black Brave Star jeans getting these weird lines and streaks in them. I just washed a pair that I have that I got used for a really good price. They're too big for me, and I wore them yesterday, and they kind of were a little bit too loose, you know, where when you put your belt on, it's bunching up in the back a little bit. And so I had worn them, and I mean, I got some glitter on them doing some Christmas stuff, and I wanted to wash them. And so I washed them. I turned them inside out. I washed them, left them inside out, put them in the dryer, stopped the dryer when they're still just a little wet, and then I pulled them back right side out. I laid them out on my bed and just smoothed them out with my hands to let them finish drying that way. I don't think they're going to shrink too much because they've already been shrunken, but this one has like 50 or 60 wears on it, and the soaks, it has like 8 soaks or washes. Some of these were done by the original guy, some by me. But what they're doing is they're trying to develop fades. And so the Indigofera dye, if you've ever like touched your jeans a bunch of times and they end up, your hands start looking a little bit blue, that's the dye coming off. The indigo dye or from the Indigofera plant. And so what happens is the natural creasing that you get, these ones don't have it, but you know, right in the natural creasing that you get right in this area, these lines that I was showing you like on those Levi's that they put their faux, but the Indigofera, the dye starts wearing out from all the action right there, and then also right in the back of your knee right there where those folds happen, and they start getting like a spider vein or a spider web kind of effect. And those are the fades. Then when you finally, that's why they try and go as long as they can without washing them. They show up a little bit more when they finally wash them, but they want to develop those fades, and there's actually worldwide very big time fade contests in jeans. When I bought these Indonesian made MBDN, I was in love with them. I bought a pair from another guy, and I didn't have any information on them at the time. I didn't look them up. I should have looked on their site. But I don't know if they have too much information on their site. And they were too tight. And I sold them to Chris. Hey, Chris. And in Nevada. And that was great because they fit him. He's a lot skinnier than me. And then I bought, I think those were sanforized. Or unsanforized, unwashed, but I didn't wash them. And then I bought another pair. And this pair was sanforized, and it's already washed, and or maybe it's vice versa. But I bought an unsanforized, and I bought a sanforized. I bought a bigger size. Now they're too big. So it's like, wow. And I can't send them back to Indonesia. I don't know whether I'm going to wash them. They kind of fit with a belt. I'm not, in my tight pants. I'm not, big time having tight pants anymore. So I'm okay. But the thing of it is, it's like I said, you could get one fabric from one company and it just fits different than the other ones. So what they do when they have the raw denim or unsanforized, they wear it. If you get the denim too big, it's not always going to shrink down. If you get it just right, it will stretch out a little bit. It will conform to your body. That's what these guys are doing in these fade contests and patina type of things. It's conforming to your foot, conforming to your body. So I wouldn't try and buy things oversized and then shrink them. I would try and buy them, get the perfect fit, wear them as long as you can, and if they are the perfect fit, if you do soak them, if you soak them, you just kind of hand wash them, or I've done some in the pool, or in the bathtub, and then just hang them to dry, or put them on a towel, and let them dry flat, but try and flatten out as much as possible. But wear them as long as you can without washing them. There's guys who say put them in the freezer, waving them over a campfire. All these different things take the smell away. If they smell, and I don't usually smell in these jeans because I don't wear them for work. It's when I'm prancing around in my fancy boots. So, but if I had smelly jeans, I'd wash them. If they were dirty, if you can't spot wash, if you can spot wash them, turns out good. Sometimes you spot things, especially things where the things are going to fade a little bit. And even on some of my shirts, if I get some food right here, even on a flannel, I take this a little towel and wet it, and then I get like a weird rub spot until I wash it. So that's going to be up to your discretion. It is a journey of discovery. So you're going to discover what your fit is, you're going to discover what your size is, and then you're going to discover how often you need to soak, wash. I would never put them on heat in the dryer unless you're trying to shrink them, but all those things you will find in this journey of discovery of raw denim, of selvage denim. And so that's part of the fun of the hobby, is finding these things out. Let's see how the cut is on these Leviathans. I love their stuff. This is a 8.5 there, and it's a 9 there. So these don't taper, they're a little bit straighter. But that's just one experience. I love the company, the customer service was amazing, but I can't dial in my fit on that company. Here's So-So denim. Like I said, So-So, we were talking about the breaker of legs. That 33 ounce, they got it in jackets. They got it in pants. So-So is, these are made in Thailand. So as far as I know, So-So is designed, there's a lot of information right in here on the pocket bag. I think it's really cool when they put designs or different fabric or information on the pocket bag. So I think the So-So are designed in Sweden. Designed in Sweden, crafted in Thailand. And these So-So jeans I ordered, some of the companies, like I think So-So will give you like a break the first time you buy from them. And some of them, if something pops up and they want your email, lots of times, if it's a reputable good company or something you want to see more of, put in your email. I know they're going to spam you a lot. You could always unsubscribe from a good company. They will actually unsubscribe you. But they give you a discount code. So if you don't have that discount code when you go to check out, if you just click that off, then maybe you don't have the discount code. So get the discount code if you're a first-time buyer with a lot of these companies, and you get a discount. The So-Sos, I think they're more of a taper or a slim fit. I really like this cut. They fit me very well. That's like a 7, and up here is a 9. So they taper even more, and I like that. I like how that cuff tightens up and shows off my boots. Here's the So-So. I like the big veg tan heavy tags too. No design, plain butt pockets. Here's the So-So. I don't think I showed you the Selvedge ID on the last one. Also, blue. If that's important to you, check that out. It should be in their pictures. Blue with white and red. The Selvedge ID, it's also the same on the MBDN. Blue with white and a little red line. I think that's pretty standard. Now, for these last two, I got this is the last thing on my list to talk to you about. I'm still going long, but I'm hoping I'm not rambling so much and you're getting a lot of information out of this. So, this is very confusing, and I don't really claim to be knowledgeable in everything about boots or denim. I know what I know, and I try to pass on what I know, and my failures and successes and experiences I talk about transparently right here with you, and so you learn from me. Hopefully it'll save you some time and some money. There's terms that you might see called Nepp, N-E-P, and Slub, S-L-U-B, Nappy or Slubby. Nap is how it looks. Slub is how it looks. Neppy or Slubby is kind of the term for it, the general term for it. So these are made for a company called July Raw Denim or Honor Raw Denim, and out of Myanmar, Mandalay, Myanmar. And these are called the Snow Horse. And these actually are made by the same company that we're going to talk about next for July Raw Denim. I'm going to try and hold these where you can see. It looks like something snowed on it. Look like, I don't know, can you see between my face and right here, like a texture, okay, sticking up. I'm going to put it close so you can see how cool are those, man. Maybe you can see it on that Selvedge ID. Look at that right there. You can see it, okay. The Selvedge ID is blue with the white and the red. I don't even know if these are available anymore, but I just totally dig these. Snow Horse. These are Neppy, okay? Neppy is the fibers stick out like snow on the surface. That's Neppy. I love these. I was wearing these. I wore these on Thanksgiving. If you look at my Instagram or Facebook, I had some vintage mountaineering boots and that came from the 70s, I think, and a vintage corduroy Sherpa collared type of jacket. I think it's fake Sherpa, but it's actually part wool, corduroy and wool and cotton, polyester, and I wore that. Now, the other term, before I describe these two, I'm going to go on the term is slub. Slub is an uneven yarn that they use. See the unevenness and it's kind of like a cloudiness, and it looks like it kind of goes back and forth a little bit. That's slub or slubby. Slub or slubby. Nepp or neppy. Nepp is the fiber sticking out. Slub is the unevenness of the fibers. So that's something, write that down or look it up and memorize it, because that's something I keep forgetting. These are custom made for me, okay? These are, all these other ones, they may have been made to order, but it's to their sizes. You know, it's made to order a 34. Some are ready-made, some are made to order, but these are made to measure from Chuchai Indigo out of Thailand. Chuchai means the elephant man. He's a really nice guy, friend of mine, wonderful man. He's made me shirts, scarves, overalls, jeans, hats. I buy just about everything that he sells, a wallet, because he's a wonderful guy, has a beautiful family, and he does an excellent job as customer services. You're talking to the owner when you talk to him. So these are my Chuchai Indigo jeans, and these are my design. I sent him my measurements. These have never been washed. I've had these since 2019, September 2019. These are over 5 years old. I have never washed these. Now I probably wear them like 6 or 8 times a year. But that's still 40 wears, something like that. You'll see I'm getting a little bit of wear on the crotch right there, a little bit of wear on the knee. I don't know if you can see that. The Selvedge ID, he used red thread on everything. The Selvedge ID, again, is blue with white with the red. And these are just really cool. I just love his work. If I could only wear one type brand of clothes, I would wear a Chuchai's. He's amazing. And then here's the back. And he and I worked together for that design. Look at that Selvedge line on the pocket. And then there's the elephant, his symbol. And it's stitched around. It's in the denim. It's like a transfer dye into the denim, and then it's stitched around. I don't know if transfer dye is the right term. He told me. And then he also has the heavy leather patch. That was a lighter color when I started, with the elephant with the circle around it. That is his logo. So let's see what he gave me, and what I ordered from him, what we decided on as far as the measurements go. These are slubby. They're super slubby. You could see the unevenness. See that? The unevenness looks kind of like a light shining across it. Funny, it's not the light. It's the denim. These are 8 inches and 9 inches. So he nailed it. Got just what I wanted. These fit me perfectly. And when I first got them, I was like, oh, they're too tight. This is the first one that I really ever ordered like this. I call him my tailor, so he's my tailor. And I even the inside of the pockets, the back pockets are lined with a pocket bag. And they were way too tight. And he's like, take a picture without your shirt off. Let me see. They made me another pair that I've worn a couple times, but I kind of lost weight after that. So I went back to the original pair. I don't know if you know that, Chuchai, but I went back to this original pair. And let's see, these fit me perfectly now. These are like a 17 and a half, so see, I'm like a 35. And they're super long with the big cuff. And when I first got them, I was new, like I said, knew the hobby. I was like, Chuchai, man, they're way too long. What do I do? And he goes, roll them up, Thailand style. That's the deal over there. But then I started looking at old John Wayne. I had COVID. I sat in this room when there was a bed in here, watched like 23 John Wayne movies in this 10-day COVID quarantine back in 21 or something. And all those old black and white 20, 30-minute movies, I don't know, they're really short, 40-minute movies of John Wayne. He's got them way rolled up, and I said, yeah, that's the style. And so I started doing that, and that is how I wear it now. So these are 30 down to the bottom of my cuff, and then you have my cuff. These are 36, actual 36, and I roll them up to there. So that's everything I got for you as far as my international Selvedge jean collection and review. And I wanted to talk to you today about being a person of honor and being honorable. And what does that mean to you? To me, it means that you treat others the way you want to be treated. That's Gandhi said that. Jesus said that. It's in the Bible. We call it the Golden Rule. Martin Luther King preached that. Martin Luther King Jr. And be a person of honor. If you're a person that goes back on your word, if you know, when I was brought up, your word is your bond. You shake hands and you give your word. I work all the time. I usually don't ever do contracts. I tell them what I'm going to do, and I do it. That's being honorable. When you go back on your word, that's called lying. Okay? If some bad things happen all the time, we call it act of God or whatever. Okay? Yeah, you go and explain and be a person of honor and try and work out something, a middle ground, to the person that you made an agreement with, and be a person of honor. If you would sell out your value system for monetary economic gain, we have a lot of people in this country that it seems like they want to do that nowadays. It seems like they don't want to be people of honor. If it's economics, they would sell out their mother, their neighbor, whatever, for the price of gas to go down or whatever. I don't really understand that. There were people, I was reading about the Titanic, and there were people on the Titanic that were millionaires that put the maids and the cooks on the lifeboats and stayed and said, look, we've had a long life, we've had riches, you're young, please go. Those are people of honor. People that would die with their values and their personal integrity intact. So today, why don't we go down the rabbit hole of Selvedge raw denim? And why don't we keep our honor? And when we fail, and we will, we respond like people of honor. And we make amends for our wrongdoings. So let's get some cool jeans, and let's keep our personal integrity so that people look at us and say, I want to be like that guy. I want to be a man of honor. I want to be a woman of honor. I want to be a person of honor. Happiness and joy, and happy Thanksgiving weekend. Thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me. This is longer than the other one, but I hope it was more coherent. Love you.